Yo, Fix, what's popping? So lately, I've been thinking about trading only off the daily and the weekly. So it's a really cool idea that I got from this dude in my Discord, this little black British man. And trading only off the, well, he only trades off the daily, but I've been experimenting with trading off the daily, just the weekly, just the daily, or a combination of both. And what I found, it's pretty cool because it doesn't take much time at all. Right now, I use the daily and the weekly as a directional bias, and then the 4 hour for the entries, the levels, all those things, right? So going through using just the weekly or just the daily, I found that a lot of these things, first of all, obviously every candle is a week. So every candle would close at Friday at 2 o'clock where I'm at, and then the next one starts to form. So for this type of level right here, this would break down, and it would have taken about 91 days, which is, who knows, 11, 12 weeks, something like that. And it's just such a slow paced way to trade. It's such a slow paced thing to where you only have to look at the charts maybe 5 minutes a week, maybe. Whereas now I look at it maybe 5 minutes, maybe a little bit more, 5 days a week. So it would cut the amount of time in a fifth, you know? And I've also seen that it's a lot easier to catch trending markets. So when price is completely going down, I mean, look how easy these moves are to take. One, two, three, and then another break and retest. And then could have caught another one right here and potentially another one right there. And it seems to be much easier to catch the trending markets and stick with it. But also it seems a lot easier to not lose as many because these levels are so much stronger on these higher time frames and it's so much more clear. And I've gone through the past, I think from here to now in September, I think it's been like something like 40 something wins I could have had between all the different pairs, all of these different ones. And then last year, the entire year, it was roughly around the same, like 45 wins or something like that, just on the weekly. And then also been experimenting with doing the daily also, just the daily and maybe using the weekly for a little bit of directional bias. And obviously with the daily, it was like double the amount, if not a little bit more, of the amount of wins. But it's the same concept, trading the same way and support resistance, and there's just a lot more opportunities. I do like the weekly a little bit more just because it's so much cleaner and it takes less time. The daily is still a thing to where I'd have to check it maybe like once a day or something, like probably just obviously once a day, once every other day. Um, but it's still very clean and it's very slow paced. By the time when this would have broken out, and then by the time I got back, I mean, it's almost a month. Same thing with this. By the time when this broke out to the time it got over here, that's 23 days. It just doesn't take much time at all. So I've gone through and I've got a few setups. So, whoops. So a few of the setups I got trading the exact same strategy that I always trade. So going on the daily, we see that price is trending down. And the one thing that I've really liked about it is that I don't have to go out to any time frame. I use one time frame, maybe two, and then I don't have to zoom in. And it's something about it that just seems so simplistic and easy, and I really like it. So multiple lower highs created, another low high created, typical channel breakout type of thing. Broke out, lower high, created the support. Once it breaks out, we can see trades go to the downside. And then Euro CAD. See, within this whole entire area right here, you probably could have caught multiple trades. You could have had buys right here at the support that kept forming. You could have had break and retest buys right there. You could have probably had buys right there. And then you could have maybe had buys right here. You could have had all of these potential setups. And then now it's just something of when price decides to kind of finally come back all the way down here, you could catch buys down there. And the stop loss could be below the low a little bit. You could target this next high that's going to be up there and do the same thing I already do. And it just seems so easy and so simplistic and also really, really slow paced to the point to where you'll probably never miss a trade. So the same thing here. Like I just zoom out a little bit and it's like, oh yeah, we're trending up. I don't gotta go to a different time frame. And then the trades that you could have caught would have been here at this entire level of support, break and retest, and then also here. And you probably would have lost that one. And then you could have caught this one right here, and then you could have maybe caught that one right there. And then now price is going back to this level of support, and you just bounce up, and it's probably way more likely to happen because it's on the daily, and the levels are way stronger on the daily. So, and then the same thing here. I don't know why my computer is so slow. But you can see price is consistently making higher lows, and okay, well, all I gotta do is just stick to that. And then you just look at this entire thing, like, okay, well, this was a huge level we could have had price bounce from, right? You could have had buys right here, you could have buys right here, you could have buys right here, and then you could have had buys multiple times within this whole level. And then also right now, if it does bounce from there, it seems like a very, very simplistic way to approach the market. Zoom out right here, it's the same thing. Price is just trending down, and you have plenty of opportunities within this entire here, and then here you probably would have lost that one, and then here, and then multiple rejections on the resistance, and then here, and then here. And all the time between all of these trades is weeks and weeks and weeks. And you don't have to sit here and stare at the charts. You can literally check the charts like every other day for like 3-4 minutes, and then go on about your day. And the weekly is even more clear, except it just takes so much longer. This is all the way back in the beginning of 2022. But this is just something I've been backtesting, and it just seems to be really, really good. It's getting to the point of the year where I usually stop trading or stop calling out trades and just take a little bit of a break from that. So who knows? Maybe going into 2026, I will call out trades like this. This is also one of the most beautiful fucking charts I've ever seen on the weekly. Just so gorgeous how easily it played out. You see prices going down. We have this big level, break and retest, and then rejection, 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 and then another rejection, another break and retest. On the daily, there would be multiple more trades that we could have taken. Like we could have taken right here. We could have lost right there. We could have taken right there and came all the way back up. And then we could have break, retest, multiple rejections, and then break, retest, break, retest, break, retest, and then break, retest. And then this one I actually did call out to myself. Didn't take it, didn't call it out anywhere. But simple, very simplistic. And by the time when price broke out, it's 1, 2, 3 days before price even got up there and was able to. So it's just like the amount, the lack of time that it takes, honestly, is really what drives me to it. Because the way I trade, the way I really want to look at trading is, what can I do forever? How do I want to trade for the next 30 years? You know what I mean? Do I want to sit here and scalp and have an hour to trade every day for the rest of my life? Do I want to be, spending 5-10 minutes a day, 5 days a week for the rest of my life? Like, realistically not. What's the longevity in that? Like, obviously the work week, quote unquote, is a lot less, with just 25 minutes a week. Like, that's not bad. I'm not complaining about that. But if I could be 5 minutes a week, or just 10 minutes a week instead of 25, 30, 35 minutes a week, well, then maybe that's something that I would want to do. And that's why I'm starting to lean towards the daily, the weekly, and maybe be more focused on that. So just thoughts. I like putting my thoughts out here and experimenting with what I want to do. The same thing with this entire thing right here. Price is just going down, and I have this level that I want it to break out of. And it's not something that I have to check, 2 times throughout the day like I usually do. It's something like maybe I'll check in a couple days, because by then that's when it'll be broken out of and maybe have a chance. But that's it, man. OFX out.